Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. For those of you who are new here, I'm Sabitha and today we're going to be going over the Ultimate Subscription box in the Just Peachy theme for August. Let's take a quick look at what's inside. This month's box is honestly my favorite because the peaches! Okay, I'm excited to unbox this, so let's get started. This is the enamel pin. This is the enamel pin. This one, all our characters are peaches, so this one is a mix of a cut up peach and a cute little peach just chilling. Our washi tapes for this month. Here's what they look like opened up. Here's the die cut pack. And these are the sticker sheets. I know this month we don't have any characters, but honestly the peaches are so cute, similar to our pumpkin spice theme. We do have lots of peaches on this sheet, some peach trees here and branches, and this one filled with peachy treats. And this is the journaling card with a little message at the back. And this is an exciting mystery item for this month because it's a sticker book. So once I'm done using all my stickers, I'm definitely going to be adding my stickers in here. These are our two subscription die cuts. Someone said it looks like a butt, but well, you know, a peach of the butt. What are you going to do? It's cute though. It's very, very cute. These are the 5 planner stickers in the journal pack. The days, dates, and the month in the journal pack. This time we have peaches for the monthly headers. And this is the Hobonichi kit. These two are for the month. And these 4 are for the week. Here's our planner kit. Oops. And finally, the variety pack. We have a sheet with little quotes, a sheet with stamps, some more washi tape, extra boxes to write in, some peaches you can use to decorate your boxes or use as a border, some bigger peaches to decorate your spreads, and peaches with moods to use as a mood tracker possibly. So that's everything in the Just Peachy box for the month of August. Apart from these, we also have these extra sheets. We have the gratitude prompts and these 2 extras. Also monthly and weekly trackers if you'd like to track a lot more stuff, and a little numbers sheet. Okay, let's get started with the spreads. All right, we're gonna start off with the cover page. On this side, I am going to draw a box, leaving 1 space all around the page. They're going to have curved corners, and I'm just marking it with a pencil so I know exactly where to draw my lines with a marker. And I'm using this Tombow brush pen, number 850, and I'm going to outline it with this Tombow marker, and then go around it with a black marker. Once that's done, I'm using the number 3 Tombow marker and I'm going to outline the whole box. Then I'm going to grab probably this August title and place it in the middle. Oh, it's a little bit over that side, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to fill up this entire area with lots of stickers. I'm going to use this set of peaches and these ones in a later spread. So if you're following along, I would recommend not using these peaches just so you can use it in the next spread. So I'm just going to fill up this page using these sheets. Just placing them randomly all over the page, wherever it looks the best. Okay, and for any extra space that is left, I'm just going to draw some hearts and little doodles to fill it out. Adding some tape to the back. Uh-oh, am I out? Nope. Still have a little bit left. Here we go. And there's the cover page. All right, moving on. So I'm going to start with some washi tape. Start roughly over here. And go all the way to this end. I'm not going to cut it off yet because I want to align it wherever the monthly grid starts and ends. So I'm just going to leave this over here for now and start on the monthly grid. I'm leaving 2 spaces up from the washi tape and marking the bottom of the monthly grid. And I'm going to use my handy grid sheet to mark down a 5x5 grid. So it starts here. First one over here. Here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it ends over here. And then on the other side. So I'm going to end the 5 days over here. I'm going to start over here. So I'm not counting these 2 spaces. And over here. All right. So there's the bottom of the monthly grid. So now that I know where it starts and ends, I can tear off the washi tape. So I'm going to grab my grid sheet again, align it, and mark out 1, 2, 3, and 5. There you go. So goes all the way until here, ends over here, and there. This one ends here. Actually, wait, was there space for a six? Yeah, actually we can make the grid a little bit taller. Goes all the way until here, ends over here. And there. This one ends here. Actually, wait, is there space for a six? Yeah, actually we can make the grid a little bit taller since we have some space at the top. So I'm making them, so we're leaving them 5 spaces wide, but we're gonna make them 6 spaces tall. We always do a 5 by 5 grid, so just wanna try something different this time. Here, one here, one this, one here, one this, one here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that means we end over there. It gives a little bit more room than normal to write down things in your monthly grid, so it might be a nice thing to try. All right, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and outline it with my number 3 marker. If you're going for more of a functional spread, I would recommend just doing like no curved edges, just go for a straight corner. That way you have more space to write. It looks a bit more spacious as well. But if you're going for more of a cute spread, to write minimal things in your monthly layout, then you can do rounded corners and a bit more of a design that I'm going to do in the spread. I'm using a thinner marker, number 1, to draw the lines inside the grid. Okay, this part is definitely not necessary, but just to make the spread look a little bit more pretty, what I'm going to do is grab my number 3 pen again. make a little banner of sorts, banner background, so we can put the Monday, Tuesday titles on it. If you want to make these rounded corners, I just stop one dot before the end and I just connect the dots just like that. Drawing it one space above and 2 spaces away from the end. So this is where the banner ends and this is where the banner ends. That's a little loopy, but that's okay. Alright, and I'm gonna grab this same brush pen as last time, number 850, and I'm gonna color it in. Over here. Alright. Actually, I changed my mind about this part. I think I want the washi tape to go all the way to the edge. So what I'm going to do is remove this and add some washi tape right over here. I'm doing it a little bit above the last dots as well, just to make it kind of centered right below the monthly grid and the end of the page. I'm tearing it off roughly at the end of the monthly grid. Alright, now grab my pencil again and I am starting the notes section one space away from the edge, and similar to where the monthly grid ends, that's where the notes section also has to end, just to keep things uniform. And I'm leaving, I think, 1, 2, 3 spaces. So let's see, if I'm leaving 3 spaces, it kind of has to end there. Actually 2 should be fine. So leaving 2 spaces ends there. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. And I want 2 sections over here. So I'm going to do the same banner on this side as well, but I guess I just want to space out where the title would go. I'm grabbing my August title and sticking it down just to see how much space I have left to work with. Oh yeah, plenty of space. Okay, I'm just gonna stick it down anyway. Okay, so in that case, I can mark this off. So that means this is the spaces for the banner. I can have one section over here and maybe end it over here. And I have my next section starting roughly over here. Banner goes here and the section ends over here. I'm outlining everything with the number 3 Tombow pen. I'm gonna let the marker dry a little bit more before coloring it in this time. Just make sure it doesn't smudge as much. Alright, pretty happy with that. And go back in with the same brush pen. I'm going to color this in first. Oh, there it is. Grab this sheet, I'm gonna put down all the dates. Moment of truth. If all 31 days fit in here, then I set up the monthly grid correctly. Okay, now that we have some extra space up here, I'm going to fill it up with some stickers. I've got these stickers, put this one, choose that one. These boxes look a little too empty, so I'm going to highlight alternate lines with this brown brush pen to make it look a little bit more filled out. And this was the Tombow pen number 990. Looks good so far, so I think I'm gonna add some more stickers over here. They're big stickers, they take up a lot of room, but you can add stickers after you've written stuff if you want to make sure you have enough space for whatever you want to write. So for this section, you could do things like goals, progress, or you can write down reminders, notes, shopping lists, wish lists, anything you want to look at during the month. Maybe you can even write some notes about events or things you want to do this month but don't really have a date for. You can put it over here. So those are some examples of what you can use these sections for, to put a bunch of to-do lists that you don't want to forget to do this month. So for example, if you're setting up August now, which is, today is like June. So if you're setting it up well in advance, you can use that section to write down things like, oh, I actually had a pre-order coming in August, so make sure that pre-order is coming in. So you can write that kind of reminder over here. Or some months, if you're getting an extra pay or something, you can write down about that here, so you remind yourself to budget around it. Or if you want to remind yourself to cancel a certain subscription in this month, you can write that down over here. So yeah, hope those examples help you out. But for the purpose of this spread over here, I'm just gonna write down, I think, goals and progress. In case you have the Ultimate Subscription, you will find that you have these icons matching the theme every month. So you can use these in your monthly spread because even the color scheme matches everything over here. The first Saturday, Friday, other Sunday, this weekend. All right, I think that's it. And then you can write a little note for what each day is going to be. Let's move on to the tracker spread. So on to the next spread. On this side, we're going to do trackers. It's going to be a little bit more fun and different than before. And over here, we're going to do some gratitude, daily affirmation, and looking forward to. So whenever you come back to your journal to write during the week, you can always look at this page kind of like a reminder. To get started, I'm going to grab washi tape and I'm going to line page at the bottom from this edge to this edge. And I'm tearing that off with my ruler, and same thing on this side. I'm going to go from edge to edge. Okay, so I'm going to grab my grid sheet again just to mark the middle right here. And I'm going to mark a box 2 spaces away and 1 space above the washi tape. Same on the other side. 2 spaces away and 1 space above the washi tape. And it's going to be 1 space away from the side where it ends. Over here too, 1 space away from the end. And then I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces, and that's where the box ends. Same over here, box ends. All right, there we go. And then we're gonna go and extend the box 1 more space above. However, we're gonna stop 1 dot away from the edges. So this is where your box ends. So you're going to draw a line at the top, but move it 1 dot inside and then connect it. So basically I'm drawing a crate, and this is going to be the inside of the crate. I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces and then start with the next box. I've got my number 3 marker here. Start outlining this box. Okay, now you can see the box better, and since it's going to be a crate, I'm going to divide up the box into these 2 sections to make it look like wood. We're going to add some extra lines and details to make it look like wood. Okay, same as these, I'm going to make the rest of the boxes. So we're going to have 6 of them on this page. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to grab Tombow brush pen number 942, and I'm going to color these in. For the inside of the boxes, which is supposed to be the top part here, I'm just trying to smudge the black lines intentionally just to make the color slightly darker and kind of look like a shadow, so it looks like the inside of the box. Now I'm grabbing pen number 1, and I'm going to add some lines. These don't have to be straight or anything. It's kind of just to add some detail like the lines you see on wood. And then I'm grabbing marker number 5, and I'm going to draw a little face on each of these boxes. So depending on what moods you want to track, for example, if you want to track happy, sad, irritated, stressed, really depressed, and really excited, so like some emotions like that. So that's the face I'm going to put on the crates. And for each day that you're feeling that emotion, you can grab one of these peaches. Then depending on what you're feeling, you can just grab peach and then place it on that crate. And at the end of the month, you'll see how many peaches you have for each emotion. I'm just going to go ahead and add a bunch of peaches to these boxes just so you can see what they would look like. You don't have to add too. Okay, that should be 30 days. But if you want to add more emotions each day, you can also start using these peaches, these ones, and you could use the ones this sheet too. And just want to add something up here. Now on this side, I'm going to grab Tombow brush pen number 850. I know it's a little bit light, but I'm just going to go over it a couple times to bring out the color, and I'm going to use this brush pen to write the title. I'm going back to my number 3 Tombow marker and giving it a little bit of a shadow. Here. And then I'm grabbing the same brush pen and highlighting alternate lines to make the page look filled up, because right now it looks too empty. Okay, now I'm going to decorate the space over here using whatever planner stickers I have left. So that's it for the trackers and gratitude page, the mood trackers here, and our gratitude prompts over here. Moving on to the next spread. So to make this layout, what I'm going to do is grab my grid sheet again and mark the middle. Same on this side, I am marking the middle. So this time I'm using this washi tape and lining the bottom. So now 2 spaces above the washi tape, I'm drawing a line to mark the bottom of the section, and same over here, here, and over here. So now from the middle that we marked, I'm going 1 space over and drawing a line. Same on the other side, 1 space over and drawing a line. We're gonna leave the space where the page ends into the middle of the book. So since we have that space there, I'm gonna go all the way to the edge. On this end, I'm also leaving 1 space at the edge here, over here too, 1 space away from the edge, and there we go. That's the box. That's the bottom of the box we're going to use for each day. I'm going to do the same thing on this side and mark my box. All right, now I'm going to figure out what's going at the top, and depending on what's going on the top and how much space I have left, I'm going to finish up this section. So at the top, I'm going to add the name of the month. I'll probably start with this one. This corner right here, and I'm going to add the date below it, so it's going to be 01 to 03. Now that we know that that's the top and this is the lowest hanging sticker, so I'm going to draw a line here. I think since we have this much space, I'm going to go ahead and add a banner at the top of each section. Similar to how we did the days for the monthly spread, we're going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to leave 1 space gap over there and complete the box. So now that we have quite a bit of space in this entire thing. You could, as an option, do some trackers, some daily trackers within this area. You could do like a water tracker, or maybe add your moods over here, or the weather and things like that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to section off 1, 2, 3, 4 from the bottom. So we do have 11 spaces over here, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then draw a line in between right down the middle, and same thing over here. Now for the last section, you can either keep it the same way and use it as a note section or anything you like. However, I'm going to divide it up into 2. It's going to end right here, same as we did on the monthly spread, and then I'm going to leave 2 spaces of gap, and the next section is going to start here. So that's the spread. I'm going to go back in with my brush pen number 850 and color in. And then I'm grabbing my number 3 marker, and I'm going to outline everything. So for the inside, the boxes do look a little too empty. So this time I'm using brush pen number 910, and I'm just gonna highlight alternate lines. These 2 sections here, I'm going to do notes, and I'm going to do reminder. We do have this Peaches in Different Moods in the variety pack, and I know we have done a mood tracker here. So in case you don't happen to do this one, you could use these moods for these days here. And the other one can be for weather. So I know there are only 21 stickers in here, and you may not end up using exactly these emotions. So I would suggest, if you want to try using these in your weekly as a kind of additional mood tracker to this one, you could use it for possibly a couple weeks. I'm gonna add some more stickers to make it look cuter. Okay, juice box. I think that's good. I'm gonna stop here, and that's it for the first weekly spread. So moving on to the next one, I am going to grab this washi tape and line the bottom with it all the way. And along the top as well. I am grabbing my grid sheet again, and once again we're dividing the page right down the middle and right down the middle. We're also going to divide it horizontally. We do have 39 spots along the page. I think I'm just going to leave 1 extra space along the bottom and just divide it over here. And I'm going in with my number 3 marker and drawing a line right down the middle. So if you're looking for a really quick and simple layout idea, this is a great place to start. Still spacious enough for you to write a lot for each day, and you will have 1 extra section to use as notes or anything additional you want to add to your spread. But even if you don't want to do that, you can still do August in the title over here, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday over here. Friday, Saturday, 5, 6, 9, 10. This one. That I'm going to stick that down. Extra space, so we're just going to throw in some sparkles. We do have these quotes on the variety pack, and they're kind of similar in size to the peaches, so it could be like a cute little quote for each day. And I'm going back in with my Tombow brush pen number 910, and as always, just highlighting alternate lines to make the spread look filled up. All right, that's it for the super quick and easy spread. Moving on to the next one. Okay, I know I was supposed to make the next spread. However, I happened to step out for a couple minutes and that turned into a whole weekend. And now I'm finally back. So we did these 3 days and then this entire week. So for these 2 weeks, I'm gonna put it together in one spread using a Dutch door, and then I'm gonna make a separate spread for the last week. So let's get started. So for this Dutch door, I'm going to grab my planner kit here and a mix of these sections. I'm just gonna grab them and then put them across the corners here. And then with whatever space left, I'm gonna put the weeks over here and over here. So yeah, I'm just gonna start off with probably this one. Grabbing my grid sheet again, and oh, I just realized something. I was supposed to do this as a Dutch door. Okay, what I'm gonna do is cut off this page and then recreate this section over here. That way I don't have to waste the spread. So what I'm gonna do is grab my scissors. Well, I knew I was missing something, and well, it's not something that's really hard to fix. So that's a good thing. I'm just gonna cut along okay. Now I do have the option of just, sticking this down here if I wanted to, or possibly turning it into an extra flap like that. That could be interesting. Or kind of like that. Ooh, that could be fun. Okay, we'll get to it. But first, I want to divide this into 4 sections. So I'm going to go with sections that are 9 spaces tall. I'm going to line it here. There's one here, next one here, next one here, and the last one over here. Okay, since this is where the page ends, I am definitely going to end my box 1 space away, right there. And that means I've got, without counting this space from the middle of the page to the first dot, I have 16 spaces that I'm working with. So I'm gonna make sure that's the same on this side and mark where my box ends. I'm gonna go in with my ruler and draw a box for the entire area. this part with some washi tape. Cute, that's a perfect fit. Okay, and I'm gonna repeat the same sections on this side too. I'm marking the 16 spaces on the side, so that means the box ends over here. And I'm gonna use the faint outline I can see through the sheet over here and then just mark the same section. If you want some variety, you can always move the section higher up and put the washi tape along the bottom, but I'm just gonna keep with whatever I have here. I'm adding my washi tape here. I'm gonna correct this little area with a white pen. To make sure that it is in fact centered, I'm going to, so roughly it should be right here. So in between this line right here. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so now to attaching this. I do want the rounded corners to match, so if at all I'm attaching this, I have to do it kind of like this. Attach it right here, and then have it just flip. I'm gonna go ahead and add more sections over here as well. So this is basically a good option to build your own sections using the planner kit. One more of these. Okay, I'm gonna grab some tape and fix that. Okay, here's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna put this part like this. I'm going to align it. And since the next part is going to be peachy as well, the tape can overlap onto the next side and it should be fine. Okay, so it was just easier to apply the tape when I held it closer. So I just did that, and I'm aligning it to the corners as best as possible. Okay. Now you have a little bit of the washi tape peeking through onto the next spread. And here's what it looks like on the inside. So if you're setting this spread up without following along, and if you want to use this idea, I would suggest moving this a little bit closer to the inside so you have more space over here to actually add your tape on the inside if you don't want it to flow over to the next page. So yeah, I'm glad I tried that. Okay, so for this part, I'm gonna grab brush pen number 910. I'm gonna add some lines here. Okay. Yeah, it's not that much of a difference, but I like this color, so I'm gonna roll with that. And that's it for the spread. All right, moving on to the final spread of the month. We've completed all the way until the 24th. We just need to do one more. I'm grabbing my grid sheet and marking the middle of the page, which is right here. I'm gonna divide this into 3, so that will be, and I want them to have spaces in between. Okay, so it looks like it ends here and kind of begins over here. Next one starts here, ends here, next one begins here, and ends all the way at the top. Yeah, that should be okay. I know there's like a little bit of extra depth at the bottom, but we can always pull it down like a little bit more with the stickers. A little bit of stickers overlapping over the bottom should make it look balanced, even though there's a little bit of space at the top. So that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these markings to draw my boxes already. Starting with the one at the corner here, I'm drawing my first box 1 space away from the middle, making it 12 spaces tall that we already marked, and going all the way to the edge, but remaining 1 space away from the edge. So this is the last dot at the edge, but I'm moving 1 space before that, marking it. Now for the bottom right corner, I want it to end like a post-it note with a little fold. So I'm going to, if the box is actually supposed to end here, I'm going 2 spaces up and placing a dot, and then from the corner again, 2 spaces to the left and placing a dot. I'm gonna connect that, and that's where I want the box to end. So we're gonna do a little folded flap like that. All right, and repeating the same thing all over. Okay, so that part is done. And I'm grabbing my weekly kit again, and I'm going to add a little decorative sticker, probably this one at the top, just to measure out how much space we have on this side. Now with everything measured out, I can go in with my marker and draw the box. First dot from the edge of the book is this one, and I'm gonna go 1 space over. And on this side, I'm going to go 2 spaces over. Now I have one last section over here. I think I'll line the bottom with some washi tape. Okay. So this box, I've drawn 2 spaces below this box and 2 spaces above the washi tape, and it's the same width as the first box for Monday. And I'm gonna do curved edges for this one, so I haven't connected the edges. I'm gonna actually draw the curves. You can also, if you happen to have a curved ruler, you can use this as a guide and just draw the curve along with your ruler. So for this part, I want to add a little bit more of a design. So what I'm going to do is grab brush bin number 910 and and just add a little bit of color right inside the box. With marker number 1, I'm going to do a dotted line all along the inside as well. Here. And then for these boxes, I am going to color in this part of the folded post-it note with a brown color, which is the one we already used. It's 942. And then I'm going in with a gray brush pen. This one is N95, or basically just any light gray brush pen, and adding a shadow. Now, for additional decoration, this is completely optional. You really don't have to do it. I'm going in with 942 again, same color as we used for this part. And using the marker side, I am going to add a little design on the inside. That's how it looks with the lines, and I really like how it's turning out. So I'm gonna do the lines on this one and this one as well. All right, that is looking cute. Okay, now I'm going to add stickers. This is probably my favorite spread. That's cute. So here's a quick recap of all the spreads we made. The cover page for August, including the journal card, because I don't like throwing it away, and the artwork is always so cute. And the monthly spread we made, and the fun mood tracker with peaches and some gratitude. First 3 days in one weekly spread, and then a really simple, quick, and easy to set up weekly spread over here, and then a crisis turned fun layout for this one, including how we use the planner kit in like 2 weeks, all set up in one spread, and then finally the last week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. See you!